Silver's bubble. Today I'll be making chicken with Freekeh. For those of you who don't know what Freekeh is, it's not an insult, it is actually a dish. It is roasted green wheat, and we have it with chicken, beef, on its own. You can make it vegetarian vegetable stock, or you can make it with chicken stock. The ingredients for today's recipe is a whole chicken that you have to wash inside and out thoroughly. You need about 4 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 3 onions, one of which will go inside the chicken, and the other 2 onions will be diced up. We'll need 400 grams of Freekeh. I'm going to use a tablespoon of Greek plain yogurt, a tablespoon of unsalted butter, a tablespoon of tomato paste, a teaspoon of crushed garlic, black pepper and salt to taste. You're also going to need a sieve because we need to wash the Freekeh a few times till the water runs clear. So let's get started. I've washed my chicken inside and out. Now I'm going to wash my Freekeh. So I've got exactly 400 grams in here, and I'm going to start washing them now until the water goes clear. Okay, I've washed the Freekeh, as you can see, and now I'm just going to let it sit here while I prep the chicken, because the chicken will take some time to cook. So I've cut up the 50 grams of unsalted butter into cubes, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift the skin from the breast of the chicken, just slightly, without trying to pierce it. If you pierce it, it's not the end of the world. So just kind of cut through with a knife, wedge it in, because this is how the outer skin will turn out nice and crispy. Okay, now I've got the separation between the skin and the breast, and I'm just going to put the bits of butter in there, as you can see. And this will melt once it's in the oven and go through the skin, including into the legs where it can. Now I've got a large onion, and I'm going to shove it in its little hoo-ha, and that will just add a bit of flavour. Okay, now I've mixed the yogurt and the tomato paste, and it's now a red pinky paste. If you don't have a cooking brush, you can use your hands. I'm just going to coat the chicken with this paste all over. So when it's ready, it'll kind of have like a brownie, ready, crisp out layer to it. So that's ready to be put in the oven for 2 hours on about 150 degrees. Now moving on to the Freekeh. So you need a large pot, and in this large pot I've already put 4 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Following that, I'm going to add a teaspoon of crushed garlic, and while that's on a low simmer, I'm going to be dicing up the 2 large brown onions, and then I'm going to put them in the pot together and mix it around. Once they're all golden brown, which I'll show you in a minute, I'll add some salt and pepper to my preferred taste. Then I'll add the Freekeh, mix it around, and then I'll start adding the water. The onions have a nice golden brown colour to them now. So now I'm going to add the Freekeh. And mix it thoroughly. And in case case you missed it, I've already added salt and pepper to what I prefer. Now with 400 grams of Freekeh, it is suggested you put 3 cups of water, just enough to cover the Freekeh, and leave it on a low simmer on the stove. The water's all been absorbed and it smells divine. You can smell the chili in there and the onions. And I'm just gonna let it sit for another 5 minutes till the water's completely absorbed. Once the water's absorbed, you know it's completely ready. I'll leave this for another 5 minutes or so. And here's the end product, chicken and Freekeh. Look at how good and crispy that chicken looks. The Freekeh is at a perfect texture. Obviously, if you like your Freekeh a little bit softer, you can add more water. Now, this is a typical Egyptian dish, but if you want to change things up, you can add other vegetables as a side. So you can have corn, you can have potatoes, you can have the Freekeh on its own. It is a vegetarian dish after all, minus the chicken. If you don't want to add salt, you can have an alternative of Vegeta vegetable stock, or you can add chicken stock if you don't want to add chicken, whatever you please. I prefer salt. So I hope you've enjoyed this. And remember guys, stay bubbly. Please remember to subscribe if you liked what you've seen today. And if you want to keep up to date with more videos that I post every week, click on the little bell button. Remember to like, share, or comment. Thanks. Bye.